Welcome to Baker Dave Presents. We are here once again in the Morgan Hall kitchens at Temple University. It's a working kitchen. Might be some noises, might be some people in the background. Today I have a special guest. Her name is Vanessa Kukulski, and she has brought with her her great-grandmother's recipe for pasta sauce, coming right up. Welcome, Vanessa Kukulski. Is that right?
Yes. Hey, Dave.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
This is a friend of mine. She actually runs the Cosi here on campus. I've worked with you for maybe 2 years.
About a year.
That's it?
That's it.
I feel like I've known you forever.
I know.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
We fight like a married couple, you know.
I don't know. Let's not look. My wife might watch this. Let's not get out of control. So Kukulski doesn't. I mean, you're making. What are we making today?
I'm making my family's pasta sauce.
Yeah. See, that doesn't sound like an Italian name. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
like,
not.
Okay. You just so it's a different type of pasta sauce.
No. My mom's side is Italian. My dad's
Okay.
actually half Italian, half Polish. So I'm going off of my mom's side on how to make sauce.
Gotcha. So you have a lot of Italian family, and because you appear to be Italian. I'm not going
I
to say
am.
you don't. I'm just, so cool, like sauce from scratch, right? Sauce, or do you
Yes.
call it gravy?
It's sauce. Gravy is brown. Sauce is red.
Oh, see, now see that's maybe your Polish side telling you that, because most Italians won't do that. They argue with me about the whole gravy sauce thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm not sure.
My family has always called it sauce. It's never been gravy.
Awesome. That's my kind of family. Because I've also always called it sauce. But I'm not Italian. Not even remotely Italian. I could be further from Italian if I
Couldn't tell.
tried. I look Italian?
Just a little bit.
Awesome. So where are you from? You're from around here?
I'm from Conshohocken, actually. So about 30 minutes outside the city.
Oh, yeah. I know all about Conshohocken.
Born and raised there.
Really?
Yeah.
They let you leave?
They did.
I'm joking. There's not very many, like, the Conshohocken's very, like, its own little town. It doesn't
is.
feel like it's a suburb of Philadelphia at all.
No,
You know what I mean?
it was a very small town to grow up in, very homey. I mean, as kids, we were able to walk around and not worry about anything. So
Right.
it was nice.
Yeah, my father-in-law owned a skincare product testing place there.
And
Actually called Skin.
and wasn't it on like East 10th?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, I think I grew up right down the street from it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Did you ever do any testing?
No, but my mom did when I was a
I'm
kid.
sure she did. Everybody did. That's what they do in Conshohocken when their, husbands are out working and they're doing testing at labs that are in there.
Hey, it was extra money.
It was extra money. I got some extra money doing a few tests there, I'm not going to lie. So cool. So you're from the area. You're you're kind of Italian. And we're making pasta sauce.
Yes.
So what's so special about your pasta sauce? 'Cause it looks like all the usual pasta sauce ingredients.
And probably is. I think it's more or less just combining it and
Like, where'd you get this recipe from?
it's actually a recipe it's a combination of my great-grandmoms and my grandmoms. So 2 generations.
Okay. So
Took
there's
some
been a
from
little
each.
bit of adjusting throughout
Yes.
the years. What's the huge difference, Or you have by
My
this point, you have
great-grandmom's
no idea.
she had more like meat added to hers, where my grandmom's didn't.
Yeah, we're not putting meat in it. I didn't see
No.
any meat.
No meat today.
Do you not usually put meat in it?
No, I normally add the meatballs later on.
Ah, so you make the meatballs separate.
Yes.
So this is kind of like a marinara?
Yeah, in the order of it.
All right, cool. So where do we want to get started?
First, we're going to turn this on.
Heat everything up?
Yeah, get the pan nice and hot.
Because you need a hot pan.
Need a hot pan. And once it gets a little hot, then you're going to add some olive oil.
We have olive oil right there. I asked you for a recipe, and you were not helpful at all on that.
It's kind of hard because
Wow, that's a lot of olive oil.
it is. It's about 1/4 cup, I would say, give or take.
Wow. I didn't expect quite so much olive oil. I thought just enough to kind of get the vegetables going.
Well, you have to put that much, and then you're going to
We're going to
add.
deep fry them?
We're not going to deep fry them.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's just enough to coat the bottom of the pan, and you want it to heat up, and then you're going to add about a.
So how do you not burn your garlic? You're putting your garlic in so soon. I feel like you'd burn your garlic.
No, because you just get it to start heating up, and you want to get the smell. And the easiest way to tell is once your kitchen starts to smell like garlic.
It already does.
No, it doesn't.
I ooze garlic out of my pores when I eat garlic.
So-
like I'll be smelling like garlic for the next 3 days. Why are you laughing? You don't know people like that?
I do know people.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
me.
So once the garlic starts
It's her fault.
Yes.
I'm
So once the garlic
Now
starts
my
to
wife's
sweat a little
watching
bit.
this. She's like, "What are you doing? You smell like garlic the next 3 days." I'm blaming Vanessa.
That's fine. So once it starts to heat up and you get the aroma of it, then you're going to add 1 whole onion.
It's like a medium-sized onion, not anything big, and cut it into little tiny pieces there, right?
Yeah.
Well, is there a special chef term there?
About a medium dice, I'd say.
Did you go to culinary school?
I I didn't go to culinary school, but I was in
Like, what got you to this point?
I've been in food most of my life.
But, I mean, besides playing in it, I'm saying when you actually, like...
I actually went to tech school in high school for 3 years. And
Oh,
studied,
for food?
And studied culinary arts, yes.
We didn't have that when I was a kid.
So I have
tech schools were like automotive, and it was like anything but.
Yeah, but I have a basic culinary background.
Okay.
So I know how to do some stuff.
Basic things?
Yeah, basic
like
things.
Sauce?
Sauce, stock, basic baking, things like that.
So, but you're running Cosi.
Because I went to college for management, that's why.
Oh, so you did hotel restaurant management.
Hotel restaurant
Where'd you go for that?
Penn State.
Oh, I hear they got a really good school for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Very
all
good
I can
school.
say about it, because I don't know anything about it. You're like one of the only people I know from Penn State.
Yeah, it was awesome. So once your onions start to get about translucent,
Are they getting that way?
I
I really feel like we're deep frying them.
we're not deep frying them.
All right, if you say so.
Why are you questioning?
I
and
don't know.
arguing
I'm
with me?
nice. This is what I do.
Just gonna add a pinch of salt.
You should season all the time. That's what Italians do. They just constantly season.
Season and taste. You always have to taste and season.
You're not tasting that. You're going to burn your tongue.
No, I'm not gonna taste this just yet.
Oh, good, because it's deep frying right now in oil.
It's not deep frying.
All right, what else do you need?
Next, I'm gonna need the tomato paste.
We have some tomato paste here. It's obviously like thicker than tomatoes.
Yes.
What's tomato? It's basically like you cook down tomatoes and
It
do a
is, yeah,
paste,
it's-
like get
it's
rid of some of the
cooked-
water.
Pretty much. And it's super acidic.
It's more acidic.
Yes.
Because it's more concentrated tomato, which is what you're trying to get the big tomato flavor without
Mm-hmm.
all the water.
Yes. And then what you're gonna do is once your onions
You
get
can turn this down if it's too hot.
No,
I don't know
it's
where.
not too hot
okay,
right now.
so we're good.
yes, it's still good. So once your onions are translucent, you want to take your tomato paste. You're gonna add it, and you actually want to cook your tomato paste a little bit with the onions
To make it even thicker.
to make it even thicker and also to bring out the flavor.
I didn't even know you could deep fry tomato paste.
And then this is going to be the basis for
You're
the
doing your
sauce.
best to ignore me, but it's not
I
going to
am,
work. You're
I
standing
am.
right next to me this whole time. You know that, right?
So you just want to get it to combine a little bit.
I mean, I feel like it looks like tomato paste and onions and some oil
And some garlic.
and some garlic. I forgot
And
about
some
the
garlic.
garlic.
Got to add the garlic.
My wife will remember the garlic,
Yeah,
but I
she will
forgot about the
remember.
garlic.
So then once that cooks for a few minutes.
You got kids?
I do not have children.
No? Married?
No.
I'm just trying to find out about you more. I mean, as long as I've known you, apparently only a year, even though I thought it was like 10, I don't feel like I know that much about you.
That's because we're on different sides of campus, so we only
I
get to see
know.
each other randomly.
We don't see each other that often.
But we have fun when we do.
We do.
So
It's
then
always
once
good sitting next to you in like the serve safe class.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Usually like once a year I get to see her, like in some class, for food preparation, we get to make fun of the teacher and, talk about the other people behind their backs, like all that kind of fun stuff.
All the fun stuff. So then once that
You want
combines,
any other seasonings in there?
that'll come next.
Oh, my
So
bad.
now we take, normally I use canned chopped tomatoes and also a little bit of tomato sauce from the
We've
can.
got crushed tomatoes today.
fine, that
so
works.
hopefully that'll work for you. Try not to get any on you.
I'm not going to get it
This is
on.
a nice clean jacket. I don't want it to be a mess, all right? I might need it again.
You probably will.
I'll wash it. I do wash my jackets. I'm joking.
I would hope
obviously.
so. So then you just add that.
Can't you just buy the can? The sauce already made, and then you just...
See, that's sacrilege in my family. You don't do jarred sauce.
No, it doesn't work?
It's too sweet.
It is sweet.
It's
so
sweet.
I noticed there's no sugar in this. So
No,
yeah, this
I
is...
do not add sugar.
This isn't SpaghettiOs.
No, it's not.
I probably shouldn't say brand names. This isn't canned pasta sauce that kids seem to like.
So when you add the sauce, I'm also going to add a little bit of water just to dilute it.
And that's just, what's the purpose
Just regular
there?
tap water, just to thin it out a little bit, because with the tomato paste and the onion, sometimes it's a little too thick.
Yeah?
So you just
Does that seem thinner now?
a little bit thinner.
So what's your, this is your favorite thing to make, I assume?
It is.
Do you make it all the time? Did you land a man with this dish? I'm like pushing your buttons left and right, and you're not
are.
saying anything.
You
You're
are.
so being nice to me. I don't
I'm
understand.
trying to be nice.
This is not our typical relationship.
Because
I expect
I'm not
you-
gonna.
Why?
I'm not gonna argue on TV. It's not.
You're not. You're hanging out with me. Just
I know. All right. So then once you do that, add a little bit of.
so no, you didn't
Garlic
land a guy
powder.
with this. I feel like this should be a land a guy
He
dish.
does like my tomato sauce. I will put it that way.
Oh, okay.
So add a little bit of garlic powder,
That's salt
a little
again.
bit more salt.
Because the salt before wasn't enough. Could you just add all the salt at once?
No.
No, that would be a mistake.
You have to do this, and it's by feel. So I don't know my measurements, so you can't.
I feel
ask me
like
measurements.
she's adding about a half a teaspoon of each ingredient so far.
Is it onion
If
powder?
people are paying attention, does it look like onion powder? Do you not
it
know
is.
what onion powder is?
It doesn't look like it. It looks a little too fine.
Oh, it's onion powder. About a half a teaspoon each at this point.
And then with
That should be way more, right?
The
That should be
Italian
more
spice.
like about a tablespoon.
About that. And then when I was always taught, you have to crush it in your hands to release the oil.
It's dried. What oil is there?
There's still a little bit of oil in there. You can smell it better now that you crushed it.
Because it's on your hands, and your hands are near your
Can't
face.
be the cheese. And then we add some.
What do you got? Hulk hands? You can crush.
I do.
You can crush.
I do. They're huge.
Dried up seasoning.
About a cup of Parmesan.
Can you make diamonds out of that?
No. Cannot, unfortunately. I tried.
Italian diamonds?
I would make a lot of money if I could.
Would you?
Yes.
I'm sure. From your awesome Hulk hands.
Yes. And then you just combine it.
And then just let it cook forever, right?
And then you just let it cook
ignore
for about an hour or two. And just check it, stir it on occasion.
Now, see, that's a problem I have with sauce. My mom used to make sauce when I was a kid, okay? And it would sit on the stove, and it just, every time you looked at it, it like bubbled out. It's all over the place. There's always like stains around the pot. Like, is there any way to avoid that?
Turn it down.
Oh, well, that's logical. I'm just saying, like,
No,
you know what I'm talking about,
but
right?
I think that's the whole part of.
That's the fun of it?
That's
is
the
cleaning
fun of
up
it.
the huge
Plus,
mess afterwards?
cleaning it up, going up when it's still cooking, getting a nice piece of crusty bread and dipping it in, and eating it. That's a whole meal.
Off the stove?
No, from the pot.
I'm talking about the stove around it.
That's just clean up. It's no big deal.
Okay, so it's gonna bubble and boil out and
Yeah,
have its fun.
it's just gonna cook for about
What
an
do
hour.
you do in your spare time? Like, if you're not cooking, because you don't cook, you just said that, you're not much of a cook. When you're not at Cosi, like, what do? You ski? Like, what does Vanessa do for fun on the weekends? Read books? Are you a book reader? What do you do?
I do read some books. I prefer to go to like concerts and just hang out with my
Yeah?
friends.
What's your favorite concert?
So,
I can talk about concerts all. I've gone to a gazillion concerts in my life. Probably gonna shock you when I tell you my favorite concert.
I don't know if you'll shock me.
No?
No.
What's your favorite concert you've ever
think
been to?
my-
Your
I think-
entire life?
In my entire life, honestly,
Paul
I think.
Mary, right?
Was what?
Just threw one out there and thought.
It's actually Bon Jovi.
I didn't go to Bon Jovi. That was a huge. It's like I feel like my childhood was ruined because of Bon Jovi.
And I've seen them 3 times.
So, I grew up in Ohio,
Okay.
right? And friends of mine were supposed to get tickets to see Bon Jovi. This is Slippery and Wet tour. So it's like when, he was going out over the crowd, flying around. Did you go to see them then? Or you were probably too young then?
I was too young then.
Of course you were. We didn't. Something happened, and my friend couldn't get tickets. I mean, it was one of the times we tried to stay out overnight because back then you actually had to go and wait for the tickets. You couldn't go online and buy tickets. There was no online. Trying to show my age a little bit, but we waited. That one and Def Leppard were the two that I did not see that I was very upset about.
Def Leppard would have been fun to see.
Yeah. No, only because I had issues. We stayed up all night, and it didn't happen. And the one, my friend's sister was supposed to come, and she got her purse stolen from a party, and she never made it over to pick us up. And I don't know what happened, but next thing I know, I woke up the next day, and the tickets were sold out. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
So why haven't you gone the last couple times I've come?
Because now I'm an adult, and I have real things to do. And unfortunately, Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, not on the top of my list at this point in my life.
Then who is?
Oh, I don't know. Now you threw me off. I'd really like to go see Garth Brooks again.
Really?
He put on, yeah, but my favorite show ever, Steve Winwood.
Okay.
You ever seen Steve Winwood?
No.
A friend of mine got tickets. That was like a fluke. It was when I was living in Atlantic City, and he got tickets from a radio station. So like a radio station won tickets, whatever. He's like, hey, you want to go? I was like, sure, they're free, whatever. He is by far one of the greatest musicians I've ever seen live.
Nice.
And I knew 2 of his songs, maybe. That's it. But he put on such a fantastic show. I would highly recommend if Steve Winwood comes by, if he's even still playing, no idea, you should go see him.
Okay.
He's freaking awesome.
As far as more modern, I'd say Florence and the Machine is probably one of the better.
Did you see them?
I did. She's awesome.
Talking about modern, I saw 21 Pilots last summer, and they were amazing.
Nice.
To be honest with you.
Very nice.
For all those that know 21 Pilots, they put on a great. Considering there's like 2 guys,
Yeah. And
they were all over the place. The guy was like up in the rafters. He was all over the place.
I heard they were good.
They were, and from my home state of Ohio. So clearly, there's something to that. You know what I mean?
We'll let you go. on
Ohio,
that one.
born and bred. is
Yeah,
all I'm
we'll let
saying.
you go on that one.
So we're just gonna bubble this like forever,
Yep.
right?
For a while. And then once it reduces, you just have to kind of taste it every so often, make sure all the seasonings are good.
I didn't bring any tasting spoons. You gonna stick your finger in there?
No.
Good, don't do that. That's disgusting. You
It's
think
hot.
the seasonings are right?
I think they are for now.
You have no idea. How about a tasting fork? You might be able to get a little bit off of
That'll
it.
work. That'll work. Now, mind you, it hasn't cooked that long.
But you should have mixed the seasoning in at least.
Needs a little bit more salt.
See, this is why we taste. We season, we taste, we season, we taste. And in all fairness, her salt pinch was the smallest of all pinches. So when I said like a half a teaspoon, she probably still hasn't reached a half a teaspoon.
But yet I have whole cans.
You have whole cans.
That's what you said. You said I had whole cans, but I do a little pinch.
Oh, that was for the other stuff. You didn't crush your salt.
Oh, whatever.
So we're good?
We're good.
All right, so we just need to get the pasta. Is there? You have any special tricks for boiling up pasta?
Just before you add your pasta, always salt your water
Why?
to flavor your pasta.
That's not why! No, it could be. It could be flavorful. But starch eats salt. If you're doing potatoes, if you're doing pasta, you're doing anything, you want to salt. Anything that's got starch in it, it will totally suck up all the salt, and you won't even taste it. So you want to actually be pretty liberal with your salting of your starchy products, like potatoes and pasta. Let me go get the pasta, and we can serve up some plates here and see how this is. All right?
Yep.
So I have our pasta. I don't know if you know this, but I used to be in a band.
You had mentioned it.
You're like, you had? Of course I had.
You had mentioned it.
It's like one of those things that you mention. Like,
yeah. But you didn't do very many band things. You always said you were just always writing music.
Everything was about the band, man. Dude, I remember, I'm gonna show how stupid I am, right?
Okay.
So I'm sitting there, I'm maybe like, what are we, like 16, 17, 18? No, probably more closer to 18.
Okay.
Because it was last year of high school and then the next year, whatever. Might even been 19. This is how, so I'm old enough not to look like an idiot, and yet I chose to look like an idiot, right? And I still remember we'd go to band practice, and other people would leave, and me and Josie, who's the drummer, but we'd be standing out on his driveway, and you could just like stand there and like look out to like the 17 yards past there, and we'd pretend like there was like a crowd out there, and be like, yeah, woo! You know what I mean? Like we were just coming out on the stage, like the driver was. That's how stupid I am. But I'm just like a childish. Here I'm like 19 years old, acting like there's a crowd of people, and this is how we would act if. Needless to say, here I am cooking. So clearly it didn't work out, but it was fun times.
I'm sure.
Way. No Steve Winwood, of course. But
Why wouldn't it be fun to be in a band?
Were you ever in a band?
No.
Oh, well, there you go.
It still has to be fun.
Did you hang around local bands?
I did.
So what's a good local band that you went to see back then?
I've seen like cover bands, and
That's the problem. Out here, there's a lot of cover bands. Back home, not so many cover bands. We did a lot of originals. So what I wanted to show everybody is this awesome, like now you see how much thicker this sauce is, how it kind of burns up around the outside. That's just the fun stuff to clean later, right?
yes. That's why you soak your pots before you wash them.
Yeah, there's nothing fun about cleaning it up later, but this is how your sauce should be looking. It's nice and thick. It's going to hold to the noodles well. Why don't you tray us up here?
Sure.
You can serve me. That'll be fun, right?
Oh, yeah. How much fun that is. I get to serve Dave.
You serve your man usually, right?
I do.
See? That's what I'm saying. Like it's the 1950s. Holy cow, that's a lot.
It's really not because you have to mix your pasta up with your sauce.
Okay, no, you're
just sitting on
dude.
top?
You know what it's all about.
Oh, you're gonna drive me nuts.
You know what I like? I hope so. I feel like it looks like there's meat in it
It looks like
because
it.
it's like chunky with the tomatoes and stuff. It's not overly cooked down and stuff.
A little bit of Parmesan on top.
Nice. So let's go. Let's have a little pasta. Is there a special twirling technique?
I don't use the spoon. I just know how to twirl pasta.
You're a free
I'm a free-form twirler.
You're like a jazz twirler. I gotcha. Punk rock twirler.
Apparently you can't.
It's good. Not too sweet. I got stuff all over me.
Yes, you do.
That's how you know it's good.
Yeah, very true.
You want some more on you?
Please don't.
Was it right here? Where's it at?
It was on your chin. You got it. You're good.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by.
No problem.
You're awesome.
It was fun. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us and showing us how to make homemade pasta. Again, not sweet, like you said,
No.
not like a canned pasta at all. It actually tastes exactly like I remember homemade pasta should taste from when I was a kid. My mom would make homemade pasta. We used to beg for the canned stuff because my friend's mom always had the canned stuff. Just because we were, again.
Even in college, I couldn't have the canned stuff. I had to make spaghetti sauce in college.
For yourself?
For me and my friends.
You couldn't eat canned stuff then? You weren't like,
No.
like I grew up eating wheat bread and begging for the white bread. Like it didn't matter that it was just different.
No, I couldn't.
Now I can
can't.
appreciate it. It's a way better pasta sauce. So thank you very much. And
You're welcome.
Thanks for joining me.
No problem. See you around on campus.
See you around on campus. Thanks again for joining us here on Baker Dave Presents, and a special thanks to Vanessa Kukulski and her delicious pasta sauce recipe. Join us again next time on Baker Dave Presents, and remember, every recipe has a story.